Yo, what is up, guys? It's Soesky here, and welcome to another video. Today we will be talking about some RuneScape news, namely the official message about unofficial clients. And then also, before we get into that, we have a fourth Jagex moderator that has left RuneScape in the past, I believe, 4 months. Mod Wolf tweeted earlier this morning that he will no longer be with Jagex or at Jagex. He left a message on Twitter saying, "Old school and RuneScape players, thank you all so much for your passion, feedback, and most of all friendship over my time being here. I'm sad to announce that I'm leaving the old school RS team and Jagex as of today. That we have such a great community is what has made our game so successful over the years. Keep voting in the polls and collaborating with the OS team. Nearly 6 years I've worked here, and I've had the incredible opportunity of doing so much. I've released quests, worked on raising thousands of pounds for charity, met incredible players, hosted our weekly streams in RuneFest, and not to mention stage presentations. You all as a community and everyone I've ever worked with at Jagex are family to me, and it truly upsets me to leave, but it's time to move on to new things. If you're coming to RuneFest, please come over and say hi, and maybe bye. And I'll still be on Twitter so I can interact with you all and keep you up to date on my life if you fancy. I'll also be streaming, so feel free to follow me on there too. All the best and much love, Mod Wolf." So Mod Wolf, his last big update was the Fremnik Exiles. That was his baby. That was his quest that he left us with. He's also something that was linked to him. Who could possibly forget the Gay Pride event? Oh man, I remember those days. That caused some crazy controversy in the game. But as I said, that's the fourth now JMod that's left RuneScape that's been with the team for a long time, really since old school started. And he was there 6 years, but the other three were there 15 years. Mod Matt K, Shaiza, I think it was, or is it Atlas? Atlas and Matt? I don't know. I can't remember the other ones. Not really too much of a big deal. But it's kind of weird. That's 4 JMods in 4 months leaving RuneScape. And if Kieran or Ash are follow shortly within the next month or two, I would be seriously worried about the direction RuneScape's going to be headed. And Mod Matt K was actually just streaming, and someone asked if we as a community should be worried about some of the decisions that are being made around old school RuneScape. And he took the longest pause. It might be because of his non-disclosure agreement as well, and he has to be careful with his words and what he's saying. But he took the longest time to respond to the question, should we be worried about the direction that old school RuneScape is heading? And it was not, I'll link that in the description below, that clip. It is not comforting. It was not comforting to see that. He was hesitant, and he looked like he really wanted to tell us something. Like he wanted to say, hey, we're fucked. You guys are going to be there. We just wait for the shitstorm that ensues the next 3 months is kind of the look that was on his face. But yeah, enough about the mods and the possible future direction of old school RuneScape. They did come out with the official message about clients today, and it really was no fucking surprise. I don't know why they had to take so long to get this statement together. It's basically what we've already known, that there's nothing really they can do about third-party clients. They're always going to exist, but they are going to try and limit the features, the overpowered features that some of these clients provide. So some of these unacceptable features, they made a list, and these are just examples, not a complete list, are features that have popped up on OSBuddy and Runeliteplus recently over the past couple months, such as blackjacking NPC with like a fucking click or two. Also interacting with altars, where all you do is, I think, click on the altar and it uses a fucking bone, or you click on the bone and it automatically goes. It was one of those two combinations. But basically it's one input for what usually takes 2 or 3 inputs on a regular client. Also, construction hotspots are clicked. You can no longer click on logs and have them light right away. And they're also saying that Vorkath, like, you can't use features that tell you where Vorkath's attack might land, or where Zulara's attacks are going to land, or what prayer he's going to be using. What prayer you should activate to protect yourself from his next attack. They also say that the demonic gorilla's attack overlay And that's the thing, guys. These are all overlays. How the fuck, like, are they gonna ban an overlay or discourage people from using it? There's nothing they can do. This is all. There's nothing they can really do about a lot of these overpowered clients. Maybe the ones that are using one input to multiple outputs. But these overlays that they're talking, you can't fucking track that, you know. People are gonna use that no matter what. And if they are using them, there's no way Jagex can detect it. So all it comes down to is third-party clients not banned. Y'all can rejoice. We don't have to play on the vanilla client. It was a smart business decision for sure, because probably a lot of people, I feel like some people would have came back and played on the vanilla client. I would still play on the vanilla client. I'm spoiled with the Runelite client. But if it got banned and they ban all third, I wouldn't care too much, you know. I would still figure my shit out and escape. But yeah, basically, third-party clients are still allowed. They would like to limit the OP features, but other than ones that have one input to multiple outputs, they can't do jack shit about the overlays. There's no way for them to detect that unless you're streaming it like a moron with the overlays on your screen. And it even says in the post, we're assessing our options on how to best enforce this, but ultimately use of unacceptable features, which we consider to be detrimental to the community's experience of the game, will result in account bans. We're assessing our options on how best to enforce this, aka there ain't shit we can do, boys, we're fucked. And this was basically just a post to kind of calm the community and, you know, put some water on the fire that was brewing from all these OP plugins that we've been seeing. Basically, when it comes to PVM, a lot of the OP overlays they can't do anything about, and when it comes to the one-click light fire, one-click or two-click blackjack, one-click construction, they should maybe be able to detect that, but I've even read that the third-party clients can mask the inputs to make it look, or masks the outputs to make it look like you used the same corresponding number of inputs. I'm not quite sure. Basically, it's gonna be really hard for them to detect and ban anything, and that was their official statement about third-party clients. So really, nothing of a surprise here, and I didn't really need to make a 7-minute video, 8-minute video on it, because we all fucking knew what was gonna happen. And hopefully I'll have a better update to talk about next week.